Do you want to be successful? Are you tired of being stagnant? Do you want to overcome fear? So tell me, what's stopping you? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Jose Nicole and we're back with another video. Today we are diving into a topic that every creative deals with, but might not even realize it. Resistance. Resistance is that voice in our head that tries to convince us to give up, settle for something less than our goals. In this video, I'm going to break down what resistance is, how it shows up in our lives, and practical ways to overcome it so that we can get closer to our dreams. I finally decided to read this book, The War of Art. It is literally life-changing and is currently changing my life as we speak. I've had several people tell me that I needed to read this book for so long and I just kept putting it off. But I decided, okay, today's the day we're going to get this book. When I tell you it is a game changer, y'all have to read this book. If you have not read this book, I suggest that you do. But today we're going to be talking all about resistance and a lot of the stuff that I have learned recently from reading this book. All right, let's start with the basics. What is resistance? So in this book, The War of Art, Steven Pressfield describes resistance as this invisible yet powerful force that keeps us from reaching our full potential. It's what makes us hesitant, second guess, and sometimes sabotage our own goals. So resistance shows up when we set goals that requires us to get out of our comfort zone, like starting a new project, launching a business, or committing to personal growth. Resistance manifests in self-doubt, fear, and endless excuses. Basically anything that just keeps you from moving forward. And I'm sure that we have all felt this pull to avoid, procrastinate, or maybe even quit before we really start. So let's talk about how resistance shows up in our lives, because sometimes we don't even realize it's there. So here's a few common ways resistance tries to derail us. Number one, procrastination. I know because I've dealt with procrastination for years. Resistance loves to tell us that we can just do it tomorrow. But tomorrow ends up turning into a week, months, a year. Before you even know it, nothing gets done. The second thing, fear. This could be fear of failure or even fear of success. Resistance uses fear to make us doubt ourselves, question our abilities, or worry about what others think. Number three, perfectionism. Perfectionism is a sneaky form of resistance. It makes us feel like nothing we ever do is good enough. So we keep putting off finishing or even starting. And number four, distractions. Sometimes resistance shows up as distractions. Suddenly, it's more important to organize your desk, check your social media, or scroll through TikTok than getting started with things that need to be done. Now, you might wonder, why does resistance even exist in the first place? Resistance usually shows up when we're on the brink of something meaningful, something that will push us to grow or change. It's almost like the more important the goal is to us, the stronger resistance becomes. So think about it. If you're facing a lot of resistance, it might be a sign that you're about to do something important. So let's dive into how we are going to overcome resistance. This is what Pressfield calls going pro. When we treat our work, our goals, our creative projects with discipline of a professional. We don't wait for motivation or inspiration to start. We show up, rain or shine. Think of it this way. When we show up every day, we make it harder for resistance to win. Even if we only work for a few minutes, the act of showing up builds momentum. Another tip would be detaching from results. This is one of the hardest things because we always want to see the end result first. We always attach ourselves to the end result. Resistance loves when we worry about the end result. How many likes, how many followers, and how many views our work will get, but focusing on the process rather the outcome. This will help us stay grounded and to keep going. So when we detach ourselves from the results, we find joy in the work itself, which makes it easier for us to start and to keep going. Another tip would be to embrace imperfection. As we know, perfectionism is one of the most common forms of resistance. Wait for everything to be just right before we start. Sometimes done is better than perfect. We can always improve later, but we have to start somewhere. And if you feel like nothing is ever good enough, just remember, every creative journey starts a little messy. Another tip would be to use fear as a compass. And this is one of the things that really stuck with me within this book. When I read that page about using fear as a compass, it really spoke to me. Fear is one of the biggest forms of resistance, but instead of letting it stop us, we can use it as a guide. Often the things that we are most afraid to do are the things we most need to do. So next time you feel fear holding you back, ask yourself this: is fear pointing me in a direction where I can grow? And if the answer is yes, you need to lean into it. And one of my final tips for this video, because I don't want to give too much because I need y'all to read this book, okay? I really feel like this book would be very helpful, especially in this season. I feel like some of us are going through. So finally, this last step is a routine. And this is something that really, really works for me. And this is why I'm so passionate about routines, because it literally helps. Creating a routine. Routines create structure, and it makes starting easier. Whether it's setting time aside each day or just committing to work in small blocks, like 20-minute chunks, a routine helps us get moving. Routine helps us overcome resistance by making it a habit to show up no matter what. If you do not have any routines, today is the day that you create a routine that works best for you to get you going, to get you moving, and to start reaching your goals. I really hope that these tips were useful and helpful, and that I was able to explain resistance and what it is and what it does and how we can overcome it. So with that being said, so this wraps up my top strategies for understanding and overcoming resistance. Resistance is real, y'all, but it's also a sign that we're doing what matters. Anytime you feel that pull, it's because it's trying to stop us from being great. And like this book has said plenty of times, it wants us to not do what matters. But each time we push ourselves and push through, we're getting one step closer to our goals. So with that being said, don't allow resistance to get in your way. And remember to use fear as your compass. Please make sure you guys are subscribed. Please make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if you've dealt with resistance or even what form of resistance shows up for you in your life. I would love to chat it up with you guys in the comments. Other than that, you guys, I love you so much and thank you so much for clicking on this video. And until next time, baby, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out. Bye.